Welcome to Balanced Life with Debbie Carlin Boyle. Conversations connecting to a healthier you. The show that gives you all the latest and greatest health and wellness information to inspire you to live a life of balance and joy. Debbie Carlin Boyle is a health and nutrition coach, personal trainer, and fitness instructor who helps her clients live in balance with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plate. Please welcome your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle.
Hi, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, everybody, on this rainy afternoon here in Southern California, in Burbank, California, to be specific. Welcome to the show. You have reached Balanced Life with Debbie Carlin Boyle. That's me. I'm conversations that connect to a healthier you. I'm so glad you could join us today. We're going to talk about things that really will connect to a healthier lifestyle for you. So if you have a pad and a pencil, I would write stuff down at the very least, take a listen, and try to pay attention because we're going to get into some really good stuff today. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, and a health and nutrition coach. And so I help people find the connection to balance, to live a healthy lifestyle, all those things that are needed to come together so we have happiness, joy, and longevity in our life. And right now, I am doing a giveaway. So if you go to my website, which is balancedlifebydebbie.com, you'll see that I'm doing a giveaway for the fall and the winter season of a free detox. And they're fun recipes. I've done this detox several times. I've developed it actually myself, and you just feel great. It's like a week's worth of just resetting, and I think you would really enjoy it. So that's balancedlifebydebbie.com. Now, for the show today, I am live, and you can be interactive with us. So you can be part of this conversation that we're having today. And to do that, you want to call in. So you can call here at area code 323-524-2599. Again, 323-524-2599. Or you can go to Balanced Life by Debbie Facebook, in case you're watching right now live on UBN Go, or you're listening to the podcast after the fact on all streaming platforms. You can go to my Facebook page and make a comment, ask a question, even after the show, and myself or my guest will get back to you with answers today. All right, so there, we're all set up and ready to go. So here's some things to think about. We're going to go right into the introduction of my guest. So today, we're going to discuss a subject that has touched all our lives in one way or another. Whether it was a friend or a family member, we all know someone who has been lost to cancer. I know for myself that I've experienced the loss of my father to cancer when I was just 20 years old, and then on to see my aunt, my grandfather, my nephew, and my mother all pass from various different cancers. And it just underlined the reason why I changed my career to become the health coach I am today and focus on helping others to educate themselves to implement a life of health and longevity. So my guest today is Susan Holland. Susan is the executive director of the Cancer Schmancer Movement, a nonprofit organization founded by Fran Drescher that seeks to educate everyone to take control of their body. Cancer Schmancer advocates a forward-thinking, holistic, whole-body approach to wellness. Susan has been with the team since 2008. She is a health advocate in her own right and has a passion for developing relationships and connecting people through movements that entertain and make a difference in health across the board. Here she is back again to talk about cancer prevention and Fran Drescher's upcoming master class. It's a Health Summit 2022, and we're going to talk all about that today and how you can get involved. So please welcome my guest and my friend, Susan Holland, to the show.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
Hi, Susan. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'm a lucky girl because I get to see you around once a week, at least.
I
Yeah.
wish it was more.
She takes my spin class,
My
and
favorite.
thank you. It's so fun. Yeah, we have theme classes. We do a lot of fun stuff together,
We
and
share music in common besides health and wellness. You know that.
that's true.
Big
We spent Halloween at the Hollywood Bowl.
We're a big we share that love for in live events and music.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad they're back. Oh, what a relief. I mean, they're back in a little bit of a different twist, but they're back, and it's nice to be out there again. I have to admit, I've been to about 8 venues at least since everything started to reopen, big and small. And you have to show proof of vaccination, and or that you've had a recent test. You have to wear a mask to places that are indoors. All worth it to me to be.
And a few days after, test yourself, and that's worth it to me as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Test myself anytime. Yeah, I've been to a few myself.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
again, because music is part of my joy. And that's something we're going to talk about today, finding the things you love to do and everything. But before we talk about the organization, I want to talk a little bit about you. And for people who may have not had the opportunity to hear about you and your story the first time we did the show together, maybe we can do a quick recap on your background and how you and Fran met and how you became part of the Cancer Schmancer movement.
okay. Well, do we have a few days or part 3 or 4? No.
We can keep going. There's always new subjects.
I'm going to jump from you started out by saying we're all been touched by cancer, and that's a fact. There isn't anyone that isn't. And unfortunately, I've had very close loved ones that did not make it, and it's touched me, and I've been a caregiver, and I've always lived a very healthful life because I watched a mom my whole life not be. So I was completely adamant about changing my life when I was a young person and as a mother and my children and my daughters. So this lifestyle is not new to me. Fast forward, I left 2 careers, a big fashion career and a television a travel show production career, to take a year off of and became single and reset and balance my life and plan the next chapter in the most positive and powerful way. I've known Fran Drescher since I was 18 through another mutual friend that worked for me in the fashion industry. And when we first met her, we all instantly bonded, especially Fran and I being from New York. And so it was just a love fest. With that said, we've stayed in each other's lives throughout the decades. And then in 2005, we reconnected on a more social in-person way because we were both single at the time when all of our other friends were not. And she had just finished writing the book called Cancer Schmancer, and she had just finished her book tour. I was over the house one day, and she really felt the drive and the need and the pull to start a foundation, because when she did this tour across country, she said, oh my God, what happened to me happened to so many other people. And how am I going to get the word out? I'm going to use my celebrity for the greater good. We all should be using our celebrity for the greater good. And so with that said, she started the foundation, the Cancer Schmancer movement, titled after her book. And I told her I'd volunteer for her for a year. I didn't know what I was really going to do. And just fast forward, this was actually 2007, not 8, but I basically came from behind the scenes in 2008. And I've never looked back. And it's been a very natural, organic, like-minded space for me to be in with her, because we walk the talk and talk the walk. We started out a women's cancer foundation because she is a uterine cancer survivor, but we learned very quickly that it's not just about women's cancer, it's about all cancer. And then we found out even quicker that it's not just about cancer, it's about whole body health and wellness from the inside out. And we've pretty much expanded each of our 3 prongs into that space. And that being our 3 prongs is early detection, prevention, and advocacy work. So we complement the research and cure space. It's not what we practice. We're not medical doctors, but what we do is we build curriculums and educational curriculums around learning how to turn passive patients into medical consumers. And that's like the general statement of what
I love
we
that.
as individuals need to advocate for ourselves, because and I have many doctors on each side of this coast, but they're not gods. And unless you really know, because no one knows your own body better than yourself, what to ask for, what to look for, and to do your own research, to get in that office and ask. I mean, we all want to just be told, oh, we're fine, you're fine, it's just a this or a that. But you sometimes you have to dig a little deeper. So
Yeah.
that's really what
Yeah.
that was our number one
I love
from
that.
all of this. Right. And then really prevention. Let's not
yeah.
get sick in the first place.
Right.
How's that for a cure?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's really
And
tough.
that's a big program of mine.
Yeah,
Prevention.
yeah, and we're gonna highlight that today, I think, because I think that's where I was talking about. Get out your pen and paper, because
Yeah.
I think there's just this dichotomy of being sold goods that are unhealthy for us, and that's where our advertising dollars go, to junk foods and things that harm us. And we have to be our own. I love this term, medical consumer. We have to be our own advocates, and we have to educate ourselves for what's healthy for us. And there is collectively what's healthy for everybody, and then there's our own individual selves, because there's no one size fits all. Gluten may be good for you, but really bad for me. And gluten has inflammatory factors for mostly every human body anyway. It's just how we process it from a genetic standpoint, from a lifestyle standpoint, whether or not it's actually going to cause other problems like diseases like cancer. So I really like the fact that we can that people can get educated and become their own advocates. I think your message is so important, and working backwards, so you avoid getting sick, you avoid doctors and medications, which in turn usually make you sicker, and you don't put a Band-Aid on the problem, but you heal from the inside out, because you suddenly are educated and you know what your body's going through and what you need to do to heal it. So the message is so loud and clear. It's one of the reasons why I became a health coach. I've been in the fitness business for almost going on 30 years, but in terms of health coaching, only since 2016. And that's our message, is that we're here to help you be preventative, and we're here to help you. Just like a personal trainer helps you build muscle, we're here to make sense for you what's good for your body and what you should take out and put in, because food is medicine and medicine is food and all kinds of other things.
That was one of the themes of our summit one year: food is medicine, medicine is food.
Yeah.
It's a mantra for us.
Did you? Yeah, see, so we're so overlapped on all of this. It's amazing. So I love that Fran realized that she is a celebrity who has a platform that can take a platform up such high notches because of her visibility, and is doing so in a really positive way. Let's talk a little bit, if we could, about how you approach prevention. And what are those pillars, if you will, and some of the suggestions. I know you guys have a term called little whispers, and when to listen to your body.
Right. Our prevention program, we even have a better term. Let's look at what's in, on, and around us. So we do the check, choose, and change challenge. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting on your bodies? And what are you using in your homes and your gardens? Look at that. Because our prevention education program is all about detox. You said you have detox. Well, food's the number one thing. How to detox and how to eat healthier. How to learn how to look for ingredients that are in your personal care and beauty items. What are we using around our house to clean and use on our clothes to clean with, our floors? What are you using in your garden for your soils? What are you feeding your pets? So we kind of take the whole system approach to, let's look at what we're doing in, on, and around us. And that's the first steps. And we don't want to scare anybody. And, we always say baby steps. Especially when people get sick, I'm the resource of, oh my God, I get texted, I'm this or I'm that, or this one's got cancer. And the first thing I say is detox your house. Detox your house. Get rid of anything that's carcinogen loaded and toxic heavy.
Yeah. And
Because
again, that takes educating yourself. What are those things that are
goes
that?
back
Yeah.
to 5 to 10% of disease and cancer is genetic. 90% is environmental lifestyle. So we got to look at that. We got to look at how we're living. And you had said something earlier, but that's a whole other topic. And it can go deep about advertising and dollars and big corporate companies. I mean, you know, and I'm going to quote Fran here because she's the visionary. And she really is the one that does most of these things. But I mean, but we always say, if we are the power, the people have the power. We are the vote, right? If people stop drinking Coke tomorrow, they'd stop making it.
That's right.
Period.
But yes,
It's the power purchase.
And we have the power. Like in anything in life, we have the power. The problem is people. Coke has addictive additives in it.
Absolutely.
It's a processed food for sure, and it's very addictive. And the companies that promote it to us know that. The companies that manufacture Coke know
another
that.
Big subject.
Yes, it's huge, but it creates this vicious cycle of illness because it makes a dependency on something that's really harming us. It's the same thing
And
with
then what
environmental
happens is-
stuff.
Right.
Every
Inflammation builds up, and inflammation is the end stage of most all diseases.
Inflammation is the beginning and the end. It usually starts in the gut, but if you're starting to get headaches, that could be easily environmental, also with what you put in your body. But you're right, what's around you, we sort of take that for granted that, oh, well, if I don't smell it, if I'm not having an immediate reaction to it, everything's fine. That's not the case. Inflammation builds up over time. It's accumulative. And if there's mold or there's chemicals around you and you're not hyper aware of what those are and that you're inhaling that and it's coming in contact with you physically and internally, eventually it's going to take a toll. And that's where sickness and illness comes in.
People don't know this.
No.
And that's, I mean, I have to tell you, I get in a car with Fran and you know, people that live a cleaner life, obviously we're more sensitive. But a few things, we get in cars and the Christmas tree that's hanging at the rearview mirror that they think is making their car smell good. I get sick from the second I open the door.
Me too.
I actually changed gynecologists who I do love. But when I walked in her office and she saw me, I said, before we even get going, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to be my doctor, you got to get rid of the Febreze in your bathroom, the toxic hand soap. I mean, I don't go to doctor's offices that have this. This is like an oxymoron. So
no, and there's great apps.
All of those things.
There's great apps on your phone. You know, I have it's Think
yes,
Dirty.
Plus we partner,
and
Cancer Schmancer's partner is Environmental Working Group.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
EWG.org on my site or theirs is a world of information. We lobby with Ken Cook, who founded it. They are the real go-to. I mean, there's several, but they're really the father and forefront of getting into what ingredients are in all of our products. They've written books, they've started the websites, they've built the software programs for a lot of these other sites. So that's my recommendation. And they're an amazing partner from the get-go.
Which is great. And that's again, going back to being willing to look into it, get educated so you know what's harming you, that's around you. You guys have a great, if you go to your website, I think you have a giveaway too on detoxing your you can download like a PDF.
Yeah,
just
it's not
by
really a giveaway. We offer our Detox Your Home program digitally online.
Yes, saw that. And which I think is, you know, it's priceless. Do it, you know what, but it takes, see, the thing like with food, you know, fast food is the easy thing to do. It's the cheaper thing to do, and it's the mindless thing to do, but it's also the more harmful thing to do. But it feeds into a fast-paced lifestyle. Oh, I got to eat lunch real quick and move on to this.
United States.
Exactly.
America is a little backwards when it comes to this.
I agree.
And anyone who's traveled all over knows that the easy, the fast, and the work ethics are very different all over the world. We're a little backwards in priorities here, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree too. And really, when we think about the bigger picture and climate change and things like that, um, starting with just your education on the sources of the food and the sources and what's in your products and those things that are in your food, that are in your products, that are causing air pollution and things like that. Those things that if you just got educated and stopped becoming a consumer of those things, like you said in the beginning here, that's going to change our climate too. So that's, it's not just your personal
Absolutely.
health. We're talking globally. We're talking, here in the United States. We're going to take a quick break. Our first from one of my sponsors right now. And actually, one of my sponsors is Green Living Gurus. And she's created a line of healthy products because she does a podcast on everything that's toxic around us in the
We get
environment.
our summit.
I'll talk to you after because she's
Great.
fabulous. Anyway, we'll be right back after this message. We're going to keep this conversation going. We'll be right back. Without looking at labels, do you actually know what is in the cleaning products that you use in your home? If you haven't addressed this yet, it's likely that you are spraying toxic and dangerous chemicals in your home. 3 common ingredients that you want to avoid at all costs are ammonia, fragrance, and bleach. These ingredients and chemicals can contribute to chronic respiratory problems, allergic reactions, allergies, cancer, hormonal issues, headaches, and more. So what's the solution to a healthier, clean home for your family? Teas Organics, all-purpose cleaner, and room sprays. Tea's products are formulated with the power of an essential oil blend. Her all-purpose cleaner gives you a clean surface, shower, toilet, or simply just use it to spot clean or dust, and all without harsh chemicals. And to make it even better, Tea's Organics all-purpose cleaner uses 100% organic essential oils and has a sweet yet spicy herbal aroma with hints of citrus. Imagine a fresh, inviting scent and sparkling clean home that you know is free from toxic, potentially harmful, and cancer-causing chemicals. I use these products, and I can personally attest to all of the above. And right now, enjoy a 15% discount by applying 15Debbie, DEBI, to your order. So check out these amazing products by Tea's Organics that are healthy for you and your home. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I am talking with Susan Holland. Susan is the executive director of the Cancer Schmancer movement, and I'm so happy to have her here. We're going to, in just a few minutes, I think we're going to get into this big summit that you have coming up January 8th. Here in LA, and I'm really excited to talk to you about this because you have some amazing guests and amazing programs going on, and it's a great way for the audience to hear how they can get involved. But before we do that, can we talk a little bit about what are the things we know? Diet, non-processed food is one thing for prevention. We can start with diet. What are other things? I know what I work with my clients on, but what are other things at the foundation that you work with, that you work to give information to people on to be preventative?
Well, the number one thing is food.
Mm-hmm. Diet.
And the number 2 thing is not to have a lot of toxicity in your life
Mm-hmm.
or in your house. In other words, as I said before, what's in on and around you. So it depends on everybody. Look at what you put in your mouth, look at what you put on your skin, and look what you use in your home and your gardens. That's huge right then and there. I mean, I really do also believe keeping your stress level down
Mm-hmm.
is also a huge component to sickness. We talk a lot about that, and especially after what will be, close to 2 years of how we've all been living, it's even more important to look at how we're decompressing, how we're staying calm. What are we doing to relieve some anxiety? What are we doing to exercise, feeling happy? We're all about balance and connection and mind, body, spirit. And I think that that's also a big component, spiritually and mentally, as opposed to all just the physical of eating and,
Yeah, big
you know,
time.
because
Yeah,
eating is everything, the sugars and the fats and the processed foods, because
yeah,
that is a whole host of obesity and diabetes and maybe cancer right then and there. So,
right.
these are our biggest platforms, and we have a lot of events for people to even go check out from the past. A lot of amazing doctors on my board of advisors that speak very deeply individually on everything we're discussing today. Some dive deeper in other topics and it's their wheelhouse or their forte. So my board of advisors, I am so blessed to have cultivated over the last 14 and a half years. And most of them all have been past speakers. This will be our 7th annual masterclass. And the last 2 years, we've done so much digital series. Obviously, we took everything and digitized online, some series and educational platforms around the coronavirus when it first came out. So we talk all about that. So that's our big prevention program.
That's good. Yeah, you touched on stress and the mind body connection, and I think stress causes cortisol levels to change. Cortisol creates inflammation. That's our stress hormone, and we have that whole deal about what inflammation is the catalyst to disease. So it's really important that we take time for ourselves and find a moment. Sometimes the word meditate puts people off. They're like, oh, it's too, guru-ish for me or whatever. And your form of meditation can simply be taking a walk on the boardwalk by the beach or by a body of water in a park. Or, that's exercise and meditative for me. Yeah, that's my, and we trigger when we do something that gives us joy, like a spin class or like taking a walk on the beach and taking our shoes off and grounding ourselves and reconnecting with the earth again. When we do that, we can trigger some good hormones. Serotonin levels change, and you know how that high comes when you're, when we do high intensity intervals on the bike. Those are natural hormones that our body secretes that are feel-good hormones that are my drug of choice personally. And I'll tell you, it's the things that get me through some really difficult times that I've been navigating these past 10 years. And during this pandemic time when I found myself alone, not being able to be near my kids, when having a pregnant daughter who I couldn't go near until things calmed down and, things started to reopen. And it just really my stress level just really took up, but I never gave up on taking care of all those things that are important: the diet, the exercise, the taking some extra vitamin C, D, getting out in the sun, taking the supplements to compensate for the things that are lacking. Those are so important.
Very important. We have a lot of information and doctor keynotes on all of that. We're big on that.
I bet. Should we? Let's do this. Let's go to the video that you gave me that Fran talks and tells us about the summit coming up. Sure. And then let's dig into that so we can tell the audience, everybody, and all the good, yummy things that are going to happen. So we're going to go to the video right now.
It's me, Fran Drescher, the founder of the Cancer Schmancer movement. Do you know that on January 8th, we're having a major event, our annual health summit, and it's going to be fabulous. We've got amazing speakers. Did you get your tickets yet? I want to see you there. It's going to be so exciting. I'm going to be interviewing incredible people, outside of the box thinking doctors, and we're going to help you with an exit strategy from this pandemic. So go to cancerschmancer.org and get your tickets now, and I'll see you there.
Yay. Thanks, Fran.
That's my girl.
Yeah, that's great. Tony, there's another flyer I think I sent you. Did I send that to you? The one, it's part of the Instagram. It's just a more visually a pleasing flyer. So first off, let's talk about, we know when it is. No, that I must have not sent it. That's fine. We know that it is January 8th, 2022. Where is it at, Susan?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be in person because it's been very tough to do some digital online series, but we really needed to stay relevant and up to date and out of the box for lots of confusion the last 18 months. You know, I don't take away our media, but there was just so much news you can watch and listening to some of the mainstream doctors that are just not telling me anyway, and all of our followers and members what we really need to hear. We need to go deeper. So we are live in person. It will be streamed globally.
That was my question. Good. Great.
Gorgeous music center. Now, we've always done it indoors at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. However, the last couple of years, it's been under construction, which Jerry Moss dumped lots of delicious money into a brand new outdoor venue space right there at the music center. So it's called Jerry Moss Plaza. It's right before you enter the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, but it's all outdoors. It's magnificent. January 8th, check-in will be at 9. Program will start at 10. And it will go till about 3. And then we have a beautiful hour with our speakers and VIP hour, I should say, VIP hour with Fran and the speakers for VIP ticket holders. And we curate an amazing bookstore that I do every year of most of our board of advisors or top doctors' books. Lots of our speakers are authors, so they'll have books there. But really what I want to say is this particular summit is a little different than the ones we've done in the past. And why I say that is it's more timely. We have half the amount of speakers because we really felt like we wanted to give each speaker a lot more time. And we're really not just focusing on really diseasing cancer. What we felt that was, we're focusing really on how to get out of this pandemic.
The end
game. How
game.
do we end this pandemic? What's the game plan moving forward? It's not going away. Certainly not so fast. And what we have seen and heard and talked this last 18 months to so many different people, including all of our doctors who are all over the world, what they're really seeing with patients is more mental illness. For instance, depression, anxiety, a lot of depression, anxiety, number one. I mean, let me tell you something there. There were plenty of people that got sick and no one knew how to handle it or what to do. There was suicides. There were people that were touched by friends and relatives that died from COVID. They couldn't handle it. Like there's like this whole new panic-stricken depression and anxiety that's been amongst us, which is really the most important thing in order to get healthy is to get mentally healthy first.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
say, okay, now what do we do? So what I'm really, really, really happy about is that we're really covering some really heavy mental illness panels. We've got an unbelievable grief therapist who written many books, who has taken on many COVID patients, COVID survivors, COVID caregivers, all throughout the hospitals of LA, California, traveling. We have Deepak Chopra really trying to keep us in a space where we can get out of the depression and anxiety by looking within deeply. We're really going in a spiritual, mental space. We have plenty of people with experiences. I mean, you can look, if you go on our website.
Yeah. I think you have a list. Yeah, you have a great list of Deepak Chopra, Dr. Carrie Peasant,
we're usually
Carrie Ann and Abba from.
I'm going to tell you about her. We're usually very medically heavy, but we really wanted to keep it intimate, important, what to do next, how to feel better. Everybody's is in an uproar of tumult. They're feeling a lot of tumult, which is getting people sick.
Yes, I agree.
If not sicker.
I agree.
So Carrie Ann was very sick, went very public with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And her doctor that really pulled her through. She also has multiple autoimmune issues. And so all of that in the last year and a half for her and going public, she reached out to a Dr. Daniel Amen, and he is on our show as well.
And go ahead.
No,
I was going to ask you how the panels work. So do they each speak one at a time, or do you go to different areas? No. Okay. So how does the summit work?
Moderator.
Yes.
She's amazing, and all of them are fireside chats.
Okay.
So it's super interesting, super intimate. It's an interview style, but a conversation style. And then we do have a couple of our doctors that are on our board that medical doctors and one major oncologist here that really focused on one focusing on seeing all of her patients and during COVID and detoxing them.
Mm-hmm.
And she just finished writing a book all about toxins. Her name's Dr. Ailey Cohen. She's from the East Coast. And Dr. Kerry Prezant, I mean, he's my go-to oncologist when anyone ever gets sick. He might not be able to treat them, but he has that world of oncologists that specialize in any area you need. But he's also doing some cutting edge treatment that has a study that is very exciting. I'm not going to give it away because it's pretty exciting to find out about.
Yeah.
A genetic study that's going to be extremely helpful in getting to cancer early and a cure.
Wow. Wow, that's big. And so this is streaming live. So if people
We
go
will have it streamed, yes.
Okay.
We will have it streamed live on our website.
That's fabulous. I mean,
and if you sign up to be a member, which is free, if anybody's not, they can just go to cancerschmancer.org. It says join, give us your email, and you'll not miss anything. You'll get notifications on the day, on the all the upcoming details of the day, details of it live streaming and where to go to watch it. So if you're not a member, I implore you to join. And I would love to see everybody there. And if anybody might not be able to make it, but they have some questions about tickets, they can message me or email me if they need any help or something like that.
Oh, good. Okay, and we're gonna we'll put that up on the screen. But where can you, for people who are listening, can you tell them where to email you directly at?
Yes, you can email at susanh@cancerschmancer.org. And I think you can see my URL at the bottom of this screen, right? Susan
Yes,
H.
you're there. Yes.
But
people listen on the platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and that kind of thing. And so that's why I spell everything out, because I'm assuming they're not watching.
SUSANH@CancerSchmancer.org. And that's if you just go there, my whole homepage is all about the Masterclass House.
Oh, good. Okay. And I have to say, I mean, this is, I'm very excited about this because, again, now that venues are reopening, I went to so many health conventions and things, throughout the last 30 some odd years that I've had, been in the health and wellness business. And I really miss those because that's where you hear these talks. That's where you see we're on the cutting edge of what's new in exercise and what's new in the health food. How are we educating people to read labels and understand, what they put in their body affects them, good or bad. So I loved going to these summits.
But I can promise you that no one's going to feed you better than if you come to my summit.
Oh, I'm coming.
Fran and I are foodies, and we have the chef over at the Music Center who does all this farm to table sourcing. Everything's organic, gluten-free options, vegan, vegetarian options, and it's delicious. We serve a beautiful breakfast, and we will be serving a beautiful lunch. We take a little break because it's an all-day event, but it goes so quickly.
Right, I bet.
I'm super excited this year for all of that.
That's great. Yeah, like I said, I miss those kinds of things, and I'm really excited about this one for all the reasons that you've just outlined. So I encourage you, and if you have any questions, again, you could go to my Facebook page, Balance Life by Debbie, and make a comment, ask a question under the show, and we can answer it, because this isn't until January 8th, and today is the 14th of December, so you
Right.
still have time.
A little bit. We've got a holiday in between, so it's right around the corner.
It's right after that, which is why we're doing this now. And does it stream? I noticed some of your past summits were up on YouTube, so people can even see after the fact, right?
If you really, our past summits are on our website too.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes, under past events.
Great.
And
So if they miss it for the live stream, they can catch it later down the line. If they can't go physically because they don't live in the LA area, or they're not going to be in the LA area.
Right.
Yeah. Good. I mean, this is really beyond exciting. It's great to be.
And what I love about it is that you can really, it's intimate. You can interact with our speakers. This year, I was very excited. I made special journals.
Oh.
And our gift bags, besides our food, are pretty fantastic too.
Okay. Yay.
Everybody loves a good swag bag.
Always. And for me, if it's a swag bag that's within the realm, because sometimes swag bags are exactly what we were talking about before. There are perfumey things and toxic candles and things like that. And it's like, oh, I don't even want to give them away because I don't want to, hand something unhealthy. And so to be at a summit like this, a health summit, and get a swag bag, oh, wow, that's the ticket for sure. That's exciting. God, there's a reason to go, you guys. So you have to check this out. Now, we're going to take the last break, but when we come back, I want to talk about other programs and the other things that you offer through the organization, and then we'll wrap it all up from there, okay? So we'll be right back after this message. Eliminating stress during this time of year is a vital component of staying healthy. And one less thing to stress about is looking for ways to skip the trip to the post office and dodge all that hectic holiday shopping traffic. Why not save time and money with Stamps.com? Stamps.com lets you compare rates, print labels, and access exclusive discounts on UPS and USPS services all year long. It just makes sense, especially if your business sends more mail and packages during the holidays. Whether you're selling online or running an office or side hustle, Stamps.com can save you so much time, money, and stress. Access all the post office and UPS shipping services you need without taking the trip, and get the discounts that you can't find anywhere else. This service has helped me to not try and figure out how I'm going to have time to stand in line and get everything else I need to get done in one day. I can now skip the anxiety of going to the post office at all. So sign up with the promo code POD, P-O-D, for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code POD. We're back. No more ads. Thanks for sticking with us. My guest today is Susan Holland. Susan, it looks like the sun has come out in Malibu.
It's really good light right now.
Yeah.
I'm not moving. It's not bad light.
No, you're split
Light heat.
right there in the shadow. That's great. So the rain is kind of subsiding here. So, the thing about your movement, your Cancer Schmancer organization, the movement itself is so informative. And I think that people sometimes walk around and they don't feel so well in their own body, and they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to go to, what to, to get information, or they feel like I can't afford to go down the rabbit hole of functional medicine, or I'm afraid to go to my doctor because they might be a fear of what they might hear. But what I love about what you offer is answers in the most succinct and way that people can relate to. and not be frightened away from, that makes sense, that know that they're going to be able to have a hand held by going through you guys. And I just like that. And I think
Well,
it's
one of the things when Fran we were really talking about this is she purposely didn't want to down her organization. Do you know what I mean by that? She didn't want it to be, oh, I got cancer and woe is me. And so it was very purposely put together and created to be an education on positive movement forward. Looking at health from the inside out, as opposed to, uh-oh, we're sick, now what do we do? Because that was her experience. So it's a very uplifting, positive message. And if you follow us for this long, you'll see that we're always staying in a positive, informative, good space. We're nonpartisan. We don't go down rabbit holes. We don't dig into controversy, and we stay very reputable and purposely.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying. I can see that from knowing you and visiting this when we first met, and then going back again and really digging in. I love the execution of how you're approaching wellness overall and keeping people educated, which again is the most important thing. I mean, we've touched on prevention and what you can do, but also what I was saying earlier, those little whispers. If we know our own bodies, and if you have a whisper that something's not right, don't be afraid to go and take the next step that you need to do, whether it's blood work, a saliva test, urine test, whatever it may be. Get to the bottom of it so you don't go and find some kind of medication that's going to keep you sick and possibly make you sicker down the line.
Or find out about any type of disease or cancers in a late stage.
Right. So you want to,
early detection is key.
Yes. And that's lifestyle. And that's what you guys do, is you offer how to create a healthy, well-rounded, balanced lifestyle. What other programs can people get involved in that you guys offer?
We are not, we are program and educationally based. And the two biggest programs that we do have that these fundraisers go towards refunding is really the ongoing episodic educational informative series, whether we do them online, whether we do them in person. These are, all of the money goes back into the prevention educational programs. We have the Detox Your Home program. We have the Corona Care for You series program that will be ongoing, which is an online program for people who obviously are not local or can't be in person at some of our events.
Right.
So so we feel it's very important to have a virtual summit. So we do the virtual Corona Care for You Summit, which I created a year ago, April, instantaneously. The Health and Wellness Summit program, and our Detox Your Home program, which is also something you can download and digitize anywhere in the world for now. And then we do a New York fundraiser, but that's pure fun. And those funds go towards the programs I just mentioned.
Oh, wow.
We really only do 2 fundraisers a year, usually in New York on a ship in June, and usually October or November here at the Dorothy Chandler. But we feel that January, right after this new year, regardless that we're still in somewhat of a pandemic, we do know people are going out, and being that I'm holding it in an outdoor space and it being right after the holidays, I know we'll all be ready to decompress and detox from having a really good time.
It's always a reset time. Always a reset after, it's hard to navigate. I do a lot of work with my clients and programs and workshops for people to navigate, through the holidays. But then there's always, there's things that get us, and then people start to feel guilty and all this. So it's a good reset time, and it's
I did want to mention, because they're actually new sponsors. They're from the Emory University. We do actually have a new program called J-Screen, and J-Screen is a genetic test that you can order, and you can see all your markers and see where you lie in a genetic cancer space. And it will be under our resource guide.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, we just went public with the collaboration. So you can do that on our website and order a kit.
That's
Fine.
fantastic because that's
And
what I was saying earlier. I mean, there's like Everly, there's like different way the Dutch test. There's different ways, but you usually have to work with a practitioner to do that. But this sounds like you guys have got it all in
there's
one.
a patient
Yeah.
navigation after the testing for
Oh,
everybody.
terrific! I love that. That's a big deal. All right, we're winding down to the end of the show, and like I do with all my guests, I like to leave with final words of wisdom. But before we do, one more time where people can go to find out about the summit and everything, all the other good things that you're about.
Well, Tony, that was a great, like, follow us on all our social. Instead of, you can go on cancerschmancer.org,
Do you
which
you
is
could
right underneath my name. So cancerschmancer.org to find out more. Please follow us at Cancer Schmancer on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow me, Susan Cassell Holland, on Instagram and Facebook, and Twitter. But mostly, if you can go on our website, join, it's free. You'll be informed about all of the updates weekly towards our January 8th summit at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, starting at 9 o'clock.
fabulous and final words of wisdom, Susan, to leave us today. Final thoughts.
Oh, my final thoughts for Tuesday. Tuesday's thoughts. Be in the present. Take care of you. Be grateful. Be kind and full of love.
Wow, doesn't get better than that, does it? Those are great thoughts. Thank you
That.
so much today, Susan. I'll be
Thanks, Deb. I'll see you Friday morning.
Yeah, we're gonna sweat together. Thank you,
My music
sweetheart.
friend. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I really appreciate you.
I love what you're doing. I really, I am
you.
so impressed and so in awe of everything that you're about. And I'm so glad that we met last year.
Same. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And for my audience, I want to thank you for joining us today. And I want to remind you to keep going out and finding those conversations that connect to a healthier you. Bye, everybody. Thank you.